My bells! Tongue Nook! No! What was that? Look what I found.
What is that?
I found it in the backyard.
Is it a game?
Oh, might as well try it out and see what it is.
I've come to this world to rule. You must play blood as a sacrifice to me.
A game? But I can't. I have a whole life ahead of me. Bills to pay, children to have, cats to pet.
Blood must be completed within 24 hours or a terrible fate will befall you.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Welcome to 1997. This was the way of life. Dancing, fun people, and oh, okay. 1997 was a little more than this. Love looked like this. Science looked like this. Toys looked like this. And games looked like this. Final Fantasy VII, Star Fox 64, Parappa the Rapper, Age of Empires, Fallout, Grand Theft Auto, and Mega Man Legends. Not to mention classics that are still praised to this day, such as 007 GoldenEye, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, and Quake 2. Players experienced out-of-this-world battles, epic gunfights, and sometimes even felt like a true spy. Okay, maybe not always. It was a new period of time for the genre. GoldenEye and Turok were proving that PCs, which were the main place for first-person shooters at the time, were not always the best place for a person to enjoy their guns. I mean, how can you say this was a bad year? I can't imagine that gamers in 1997 were complaining that the levels in Mario Kart 64 were too linear and it destroyed their immersion. So where did blood come from? Well, it all started with two guys at Apogee, which you may better know as the creators of Duke Nukem 3D Realms. See, Nick Neward and his friends started making a horror game with heavy Lovecraft tones, until George Browsard, one of the co-creators of Duke Nukem, advised in adding humor to the game, and as more members joined the team, the game became more and more funny. As development went on, part of the team split off to create the spiritual successor to Duke 3D, Shadow Warrior, which was released the same year as Blood. Monolith Productions bought the publishing rights to the game, where the team moved, spending their off time playing Quake multiplayer and thinking of one-liners for the protagonist to say. But not all was well for the team, as the entire code was leaked for the game on the internet before it was released. The team overcame the obstacles though, and in 1997, Blood was released. Okay, let's start this game up. First chapter, might as well be medium. What do we got here? Giant glowing gecko guy. Skull hand on giant glowing gecko guy. What's this guy doing? Looks like he has some problems walking. Oh, that's an attractive face. And red glowy eyes. Okay. Hey! Is he choking? Someone help this guy!
I disavow you all.
Even there! What's going on? What? What happened? Hold on, back up. What is going on right now? This guy takes off his hood, starts choking. I mean, even these two are wondering what the heck is going on.
What the?
Then his skin falls off and he turns into a skeleton. Which apparently means that all of them have to die. Okay.
I've taken your love. Now I will take your life. Consider my power in a hollow grave.
Okay, so the story's not really exactly like that. But the game doesn't really explain what's going on very well either. So after reading the manual PDF that came with the game, and some more on the game's wiki, it turns out there's actually some really cool story to Blood that you would never realize without looking into it. Caleb was born a Southern boy in Texas 1847, and by the time he reached the age of 17, he was already considered a mass murderer. A couple years down the line, Caleb finds a house that's burning with a woman outside. He falls in love with her for her looks, and then finds out that her husband had ran away and the cult called the Cabal had burnt down the house with them in it. So what does that mean? Well, bing boom pow, they join that cult and become the top leaders of it. So that's where our intro comes in. Turns out that what happens is the four chosen, which are the top elite members of the group, are summoned to the Hall of Epiphany, where Chernobog kills them with no explanation. But this guy doesn't make any sense still, and it kind of freaks me out. Okay, I think it's time to actually start playing this game. Well, I got into the game. It's definitely lives up to its title. Not only the kills funny and satisfying at the same time, but the different amount of weapons are fun. Okay. Weird. Let's see, we have a pitchfork, dynamite, a rocket launcher, a Tesla cannon, and a voodoo doll. But something's missing. What could it be? What? Oh! I got it. This is every kid's dream. Burn everything down! Ah! What I found to be very satisfying about the game is how well they introduce combat without constant pop-ups and tutorials telling you how to shoot the gun. Caleb starts out with a pitchfork, nothing else, and he has to kill a couple lax zombies and cultists to get his first weapon, the flare gun. This introduces the player to the two basic enemies that will be seen throughout most of the game, and teaches them a way to deal with them without using their ammo. A skill that is actually very helpful later on in the game. The game even makes you try other guns. Unlike a lot of shooters, ammo isn't lining the floor of every level waiting for you like a little kid on Christmas Eve. A lot of situations you'll end up using the weapon you've barely used at all, so it has ammo maxed out, and over time it's great because you become accustomed to using weapons you would have never used in the first place. I started out only using a shotgun, but by the end of the game the dynamite and the hairspray were two of my most used weapons. The Tesla cannon is really effective against bigger enemies as it does most damage, but you also don't get much ammo for it until the later levels. And then there's the skull on a stick. I'm not really sure what the skull on the stick is. It really just seems like a flashy and limited version of the hairspray can. But that weapon definitely catches your enemy's attention. The weapons aren't the only unique things either. The levels in the game are really distinguishable from each other. You go from a carnival to the open sea,
You're going to need a bigger boat.
and a haunted mansion.
Mario!
And they even have great Easter eggs from classic movies.
Yes, Johnny.
There are 4 different episodes of the main game and 2 different expansions that add onto it. Each episode consists of 6 to 7 levels and a boss level at the end. And the enemies are pretty creative up until the very end. By the end of episode 1, I thought I'd seen all the enemies, but boy did I almost lose my sanity when these critters popped up. And one of these And there are even things in this game that weren't even supposed to be scary that I got freaked out by. Sue, oh, don't hurt me. Oh no. So how exactly does Caleb exact his revenge on Chernobog? Well, before we get to that, let's make sure we lay all of his comrades to rest. Let's burn my wife, blow that dog to learn how to use fire to bits, and eat the heart of my dead comrade.
Down the hatch.
Man, he takes it like a champ. Whatever makes him happy. And now it's time to take on Chernobog. I summon you, Chernobog! Okay.
I have awaited you. Kneel before me.
I'm gonna have to put you down.
What is that? That's not... What is that? It's on fire! They don't look anything the same. That's a giant skeleton thing, and the one on the right is a gecko. What is this? This is a giant problem. I cannot do this. No, there's no way. I'm all ammo on both my good guns. There's no way I can beat this guy. I'm just gonna keep running away. Maybe my skull on a stick will scare him. Back up, man! Back up! Where is he? Come on. Come out. Is he... Wait. He's glitched. I could do this then. Ha ha ha! Ah ha ha! I'm the powerful one now! You can't defeat me! Bring it on, Chernobog! You will pay! He's dead. I did it! I did it! I did it. I beat the game. You! I cast you out, and you'll never come back.
Oh, this looks like my mother's old toenail. Oh.
Yes! I did it! The mysterious figure's gone. Now I have my whole life ahead of me. The women are safe, the kids are safe, and... You!
こちらもなピザ熱々できたって愛情を込めてお届けし